Hi there, Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Date is 11th April 2023. Okay, time right now is 9:19 in the morning. I want to give you my thoughts about this issue that has been going around, the outrage around Bud Light's collaboration with a trans influencer. Okay, I'll give you my thoughts, and you can let me know what do you feel in the comments below. Now, I just I always like to make this clear before I share my opinions about these topics that I'm not against the transgender community. I'm not against people who are LGBTQ plus whatever. However, I am against sexualization of children, introducing small children to stuff like men dressing up like women and exposing themselves and telling children telling a boy, you can be a girl, exposing them to sexual education, that also to 3 and 4 year olds. And you can Google search this one, giving ABC. Instead of ABC, they have gay BC. Okay, you can Google search. There's actually a book, and there are books which talk about gay relationships, gay parenting, that to children. For me personally, I don't know about you, but for me personally, I find it unacceptable. There should be a mother, there should be a father. That's how the normal uh, parenting system has been. This boy with boy and girl with girl, that is once you reach adulthood, and that should be introduced to them once they are adults. Okay, but if you start normalizing and sexualizing sex, and as it is, children are very confused, it becomes a big issue, and that is something I find totally unacceptable. Okay, so like I said, please don't bully people of the LGBTQ community. Um, let them do what they want. But when it involves children and where people are trying to push and say, you call me they, them, and they demand and they they try to push their agenda within our personal space, I find it unacceptable. Okay, so having said that, the links for this topic are put down below. So I've taken the IndianExpress.com because they kind of explained it. If you have any other better news link or news channel where you say, oh, you have taken this, please feel free to suggest. So what it says is, what is the outrage around Bud Light's collaboration with trans influencer? Bud Light, the US top selling beer in 2022, according to online liquor retailer Drizzly, found itself in the center of controversy after announcing its collaboration with trans right activist Dylan Mulvaney. Mulvaney. Okay, hope I got his name right. It's a he. He's a guy who is dressed up as a female, puts makeup like a female, and acts like a female. So this week, Mulvaney shared a sponsored post on her. It's him. Shared a post on his Instagram account promoting Bud Light's Madness contest to her, to his 1.7 Instagram followers. So this is a guy who identifies as a girl and puts lipstick and has hair and undergone whatever surgery, whatever. So uh, the influencer has 1.7 million Instagram followers. Good for him. And it seems that a few days ago, he showed that Bud Light has sponsored him. Okay. Now, because of this, because you need to understand, we grew up in an era, at least me, where Marlboro was like a cowboy with a hat and he was a man. Then you'd show men on a Harley Davidson, like actual men muscled. And I lived through a generation where there was Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. These were men. This is what we called men. Today, however, we have a guy with pink hair, green hair, wearing a girly pink outfit and hugging another guy and going on a small little cycle or being hey and putting makeup and all. So, and they say I identify as, trans, and So for me, for my generation, we find this really odd. Okay, and this is not manly. Yes, the MCU. If you see the MCU, you see nowadays the heroes are very toned. Like you have Ant-Man. What's his name? Paul something, whatever. Then you have Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. You have all guys who are toned, but still there is hope for manliness. Like we see Brad Pitt as a very manly guy. We have Jason Statham. So we have certain individuals who still represent the manliness. But what is happening is, like if you see Thor, the latest Thor, which I didn't see actually, to maybe you're shocked and surprised, that latest Thor, which was directed by Wantabi or some nonsense, they showed Thor, with a split and female Thor. And so I'm not very much a fan of making a man feminine. Okay. Vulnerability is something else, but acting pansy and girly and all that, I find it really odd. Okay. I'm just telling my opinion. Maybe you can tell me yours. Okay. So the problem is now the image of a man, they are trying to not just make it less muscle, which is okay, less aggressive, which is okay, but now they're trying to feminize the image of a man. And where you had like a beer or alcohol, which was for men, and they would show a man as a man and a woman as a woman. Now you are having the transgender community, which fine, you want that market. I can understand you want to appear as a friendly brand to all minorities and communities. Fine, you can have an Indian, Pakistani, Korean, and in US they have this fascination towards, oh, in Friends there were only whites, where are the blacks? And you can have people of different skin color, absolutely no problem. I don't have an issue with that. Okay, but it all depends on which product you are positioning and whom are you associate. Just imagine if Marlboro was a man smoking and being rugged, fine, that's okay. If you show a woman in the workplace and she's smoking Marlboro for females, fine. But then just imagine if you had Marlboro where a guy with beard and mustache is wearing a skirt and wearing, showing a hairy chest, but he's wearing like a bra and doing this. I mean, it'll completely destroy that image of that brand. Okay. So because they had this guy who's dressed up like a girl and believes he's a girl, the response that made it viral was when a singer, Kid Rock, who's a legend, who appeared in his Instagram post shooting a crates of Bud Light with a semi-automatic rifle while shouting, "Fuck you, Bud Light," and "Fuck you, Anheuser Busick." I hope I got that name right. Wearing a MAGA, "Make America Great Again," Donald Trump's slogan hat. Okay. And then obviously he destroys those cans. And because of this, it seems that many stores, they're not selling Bud Light. Many bars, even the members don't want Bud Light to be stored there. Okay. So now, what is the issue? What is the problem? So here it says, that's why I was reading the Indian Express. Dylan Mulvaney, okay, born 1996, is an American actor. They put all these female terminologies, actress and comedian known for her gender transition and daily videos. Okay. He was a guy, but he came out as a trans woman during the pandemic and began documenting his gender transition in videos published on TikTok in days of girlhood. Okay, so when he started to become a girl and put lipstick and hair and eyes and this and that and whatever makeup, he titled it Days of Girlhood, and that made him go viral, and he garnered over 10 million followers on TikTok and over 1 billion views. That's one of the reasons maybe I don't bother about TikTok. It's a very disturbed generation that is there. Speaking on Days of Girlhood, Mulvaney said, "Once I came out as a woman, I made this day one of being a girl comedic video and it blew up." Okay. His popularity was such that he, along with other trans activists, met Joe Biden He's a bloody clown, man. That guy, someone needs to ask him to go back to an old age home and sit there. He's just a puppet. Okay. So I don't know. By the way, do you know in Joe Biden's cabinet, the person in charge of medicine and medical and all the medicine related decisions is a man who transitioned to a woman, and he even gave the award for uh, the Woman of the Year to a man. That is how disturbing it is having Joe Biden. Okay. So these trans activists met Joe Biden to discuss anti-trans legislation passed in Republican-ruled state. Following this, he has been the target of right-wing vitriol and abuse. That I'm not very much a fan of. But anyway, okay, this is what's happening. Shortly after Mulvaney's sit down with Biden, Senator Marsha Blackburn tweeted a video of Mulvaney and wrote, Dylan Mulvaney, Joe Biden, and radical left wing lunatics want to make this absurdity normal, which is very true. In fact, I find it very disturbing when um, all these people who support trans activism, whatever, they believe it's okay to introduce children to this lifestyle and teach children, like BBC World. You can search this on Google. In BBC World, in educational institutes, they are teaching that there are 100 different genders, and they are telling young boys and girls, you want to be a boy, you can be a boy. You want to be a girl, you can be a girl. Teachers are brainwashing children. That is why many parents are not allowing children to even go there, go to schools and colleges. In fact, some of the documentaries which are online, I have seen these videos forwarded to me in my WhatsApp groups. They're showing these women and drag who are dressed up in that, and they actually are twerking. Twerking is moving their ass and showing their tits. And in one very disturbing video, they had this pole dancer who is rubbing the pole in between her legs, and there are small children sitting there, and they're calling this artistic freedom. So for me, these are very disturbed people who should not have children, and they're doing really disturbing things to children. For me, I'm sorry, but I don't consider this normal. Okay. Now, Mulvaney, what's the problem with her is, him, I'm getting confused here, is this guy, at first I thought uh, the company had sponsored him, but this guy, this tampons, no, which females put in their vagina when they are having their periods. He was promoting tampons. I mean, you have a sausage dick. Okay, you have the only other hole you have is your bum hole. Where do you put this tampon? In your bum? What? It's like Matt Walsh had this debate with this ENT, this person who works in the emergency outlet, and he asked this guy who is again dressed up like a female, and he was saying that men can be women, women can be men, and I've had 15,000 men who transition to women, and they are also happy. So he's saying this is normal for us. You should accept it. So he asked a very powerful question. You can search this. He said, if a biological man who identifies himself as a woman comes to your ENT with a medical emergency, says, I'm having a miscarriage right now. A guy with a dick, okay, says, I'm pregnant and I'm having a miscarriage. Please operate and remove the baby. So he asked that medical professional, so would you perform cesarean or this thing to remove the baby? So to that, this guy was like, no, I would not. Yeah, because you are a woman only if you have a uterus, you're born as biologically, you're born as a woman, then you identify as a woman. Even this documentary, What is a Woman? Please watch it. I mean, in that, they actually asked this question, what is a woman, to psychologists, psychiatrists, people in the medical industry in USA, and they can't answer the question, what is a woman? In fact, doctors are females who are doctors just to keep their job. They're saying a woman can have a penis, man can have a vagina, a woman can have a penis. You can be whatever gender you want. And this guy, Matt Walsh with the beard, he says, okay, so if I identify as a woman, so does that make me a woman? And that lady, she, yeah, it can. You're you're exploring something new. It's so wonderful. And they even encourage children to go through this. So this is the madness. This is the only reason why people are angry, because what is supposed to be gender dysphoria, what is supposed to be a disorder, a kind of a disease, you're normalizing this. Just imagine, you have girls who are like tomboys, you have boys who are like play with dolls. Just imagine that you're allowing them to undergo medical procedure, take steroids, take drugs, get their healthy breasts cut off, get their private parts cut off, inject with steroids. You're allowing this and you're brainwashing them instead of them focusing on things that really matter. Do you find that normal? So that is why this person is getting all the hatred. And then it seems that uh, many Republican states now are becoming more and more strict, where, see how they've phrased it. They're making it harder for trans persons to access gender affirming care. It's not gender affirming care. It is the pharmaceutical industry is minting money on these confused individuals by cutting their body parts, by injecting them with medicine and steroids, because they make money. And then access to bathrooms. I don't understand what is the fascination of a man wanting to go to a lady's bathroom. I don't understand what is the fascination of men wanting to expose themselves to ladies. In fact, you know this jailed inmate, a man who identifies as a woman, they put him in a woman's prison. See the common sense. And now he ended up making all these other females pregnant. And they're saying, oh, she made other females pregnant. No, it's not she made, it's he made. So when they will get common sense, who knows? So how Bud Light has responded? Bud Light, it seems now, they had their PR in charge of that lady. Oh, we were trying to be inclusive, and she's coming out brave. I'm telling you, she's going to get so much of hatred now, and everything is going to be directed. I don't know who told her, show your face to everyone. Right now, right wingers have proclaimed go woke and go broke, and they've decided to boycott Bud Light. I myself don't drink alcohol, but if I were, I definitely would have, um, boycotted this product. So then later on, they just summarize this article where they say Bud Light has openly supported LGBTQ people and supporting marriage equality. See, all that I don't have an issue, but where I have an issue is where they push their agenda. And like I told you, there are certain products, there are certain traditions, certain cultures, certain belief systems that cannot be mixed with this sickness, this dysphoria. You can't bring, uh, you know, gender neutrality with religion. Like, oh, God, oh, Allah, oh, Jesus is what? He's binary. He can be LGBTQ plus. No, that's not normal. You can't bring their gods and say, oh, they are transitioning from male to female, female to male. What? You're going to have families say, oh, this is my dad, mom, and he's my dad, mom. They can be dad or mom. And my children are boy and girl. They can be whatever they want. And they have these weird names. He's Sparrow. He is Beaver. He is. Why don't you have names like he's hippopotamus and he's dinosaur and he's a frog? People are gone mad here. Seriously. I just feel we are living in a very disturbed times where people don't know what the hell is happening. And someone needs to put their foot down. And I'm glad many people are. And that is why I highly recommend you watch Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, Michael Knowles, and these guys who are actually bringing common sense and debating about this issue. Anyway, you let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Like I said, I don't have hatred towards this community. They are already going through enough and more tough times. But trying to push down this agenda down people's throat, and a man promoting maxi pads and tampons. I mean, like I asked, like, where do you put it, up your ass? Like, what? I find it stupid. Anyway, you let me know, what do you think? Uh, if you're an alcoholic drinker, would you boycott Bud Light? And do you think my opinion on this issue is right, given the points that I've given? Good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.